What we are seeing today, and the reason I believe this is important, is because across industries with the IoT, we're starting to see the fundamental value in every industry starting to get digitized. And so increasingly, we'll start seeing industries being reorganized from pipeline models to platform models. If you look at this shift, when we look at the first three industrial revolutions, all of them worked in the pipeline model of business. The big thing that changes when we move to the fourth industrial revolution is that the companies that bring all these digitized objects onto a network and create a platform to manage their interactions with each other, these are the companies that are going to be the most powerful. Today, GE is trying to do this. Globally, GE is trying to create a platform for organizing and coordinating the way industrial systems behave. Companies like Bosch are trying to do this, where they're trying to imagine what manufacturing could look like in the future, when supply chains stop behaving in the pipeline model and start behaving like supply networked ecosystems. And so the biggest opportunity that is there in the fourth industrial revolution is not in putting sensors into things, it's not in creating things that are connected to the internet, it's actually in building these network orchestration models, which are called platforms. And that is what companies like Bosch and GE are trying to do in their respective industries today. There are two specific things that change when we move from the pipeline model to the platform model. The first and most important thing is that instead of competing on the basis of resources, we start competing on the basis of ecosystems. If you take the traditional model, if you take, for example, Nokia or BlackBerry, they used to compete on the basis of the products that they had. So Nokia, for example, would create 40 different phones, and that is how they would differentiate themselves. Apple differentiated itself not on the basis of the product, but on the basis of the developer ecosystem that it created around that product. And so the reason Apple became successful was not just because the iPhone had the capacitive touchscreen, but because there was an ecosystem of developers around that. And if you take it down to what's happening today in different industries, what will increasingly happen is that traditional industries, which have always worked on product superiority, on resource control, they will start moving towards ecosystem-based models. I'll give a few examples of how industries like mining are moving in this direction, how manufacturing is moving in this direction shortly. But one key shift is this shift from products to ecosystems. A second important shift is that instead of focusing on process excellence, we will start focusing on interactions that are happening between different products that are connected to the platform. So when we reach a stage where driverless cars are all connected to the platform, we will try to figure out how can we make the interactions between driverless cars more efficient? How can every driverless car learn from all the intelligence that is being gathered by all the other driverless cars? We will stop focusing on how can we make every individual car more efficient at fuel optimization and things of that sort. We're increasingly going to start focusing on interaction excellence rather than on process excellence.